WomenNC is celebrating our 10th year anniversary, and we're looking forward to continuing to lead North Carolina's young adults in the elimination of injustice against women and girls.
The model that WomenNC uses is to train our scholars here to conduct world-class research on a topic of interest to women and girls in North Carolina, presented at the United Nations, mix and mingle, get advice from about 4,000 of the top women advocates around the world. When they come back for the United Nations, with that experience presenting to that interested group, they feel much more comfortable and much more qualified to go to their local county commissions or city councils to present their information, and they know that they can make a difference.
While in the program, students produce valuable research-informed analyses on the status of women in North Carolina communities on topics such as housing, violence against women, the wage gap, health-related issues, and more.
And my topic is menstrual equity in public higher education.
They also learn to communicate effectively with elected officials at home and at the United Nations as they use their research to advocate for policies and budgets that benefit women and girls.
WomenNC combats gender discrimination through two integrated programs: Youth Leadership Training and Cities for CEDA. Cities for CEDA is a grassroots movement across the United States that seeks to implement this international human rights treaty at the city and county levels. Declaring that women's rights are human rights, it urges government to implement sustainable policies and budgets that protect and empower women and girls.
I come from Zimbabwe, an African country, and policy change does not work that way. It was amazing to know that people could sit as a group of intelligent women discussing the same issue and actually come out with a proposal for new policy.
So far, WomenNC has trained more than 50 students and released more than 50 research papers with recommendations that have guided policymakers' decisions. Moreover, graduates of WomenNC's leadership training program have become community leaders and worked effectively in the private and public sectors.
I was appointed to Durham County Women's Commission. WomenNC was probably the main reason that I was able to do something like that, because of my experience looking at the status of women.
As the Global Engagement Director, I get the unique opportunity to travel around the world to more than 13 countries annually to support on-the-ground efforts of cultural preservation. And it's full circle because a lot of the skills I learned throughout my fellowship with WomenNC, I'm now applying to my daily life as a job, as a passion.
After I participated in WomenNC, I was selected to participate in a leadership training program for women that were interested in running for public office. And there I learned that there's a real need for women in the analytics space to help run campaigns for progressive issues. And that's what led me to pursue my master's in analytics, to be able to do that kind of work.
I'm still passionate about women's rights and still involved in that on a local level here in Asheville. And I'm so thankful for my time, the opportunities that I received by being a part of the scholarship program. Thankful that the organization has reached 10 years, and I hope that students continue to fight for women's rights all over the world.
Despite progress in some areas, women in North Carolina continue to face obstacles to their well-being. Statewide, women earn only 83 cents for every dollar a similarly employed man earns. And the statistics are even worse for non-white women, with Black women earning only 64 cents on the dollar, Latina women earning only 48 cents, and Asian women making only 80 cents for every dollar a man earns. Further, there are more than 500,000 female-headed households in the state, and 32% of them, about 161,000, have incomes that fall below the poverty line. Perhaps this is not surprising, as only 22% of state legislative seats are held by women, and there are no women of color in statewide elected executive office in North Carolina, and only one woman of color from the state in the U.S. Congress. WomenNC has spearheaded efforts to put gender equity at the forefront of policy agendas at the local level.
We use the student research papers to raise consciousness in the minds of North Carolina citizens, but perhaps more importantly, in the minds of local elected bodies like city councils and county commissioners.
As the founding member of North Carolina Coalition for CEDA, WomenNC has helped to pass CEDA resolution in Durham County and City and to form a new Women Advisory Board in Durham City to oversee the CEDA project in Durham. The next step for us is to replicate Durham model in Wake County and Greensboro.
WomenNC continues to deepen and expand our collaborative partnerships with organizations that help us pursue our mission with an intersectional lens. These partnerships include not only our new affiliate status with RTI's Global Gender Center and our continued collaboration with a host of colleges and universities in the Triangle and Triad, they also include those that advance our advocacy work, like our efforts with the ERA-NC Alliance that are focused on the pursuit of legal and constitutional avenues to gender equity.
In July of 2018, WomenNC received the honor of non-governmental organizational consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council. With our ongoing work examining local women's issues and then understanding them from a global perspective, WomenNC has officially become a player in the global gender dialogue.
Join us as we celebrate 10 years of WomenNC success and support us to move forward.